Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my friends. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you're returning. Thank you for being here. Either way, my voice seems like it's not on board this morning, and apparently neither is my mind because I didn't grab my hairbrush or my water bottle. Just a second. Okay. Resources acquired. This morning, sorry, I think I just bumped the microphone, so sorry if that was noisy. I had been putting my mic on this little thing in front of me, but I'm not sure it was doing its job, so I've tried pinning it back on my shirt this morning to see if it sounds better, like louder. We'll see. I'd prefer to not have to wear it, but I feel like I'm more likely to bump it, especially while I'm braiding my hair, but we'll see. It's an experiment. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. What I do want to talk about this morning is if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. And I think I heard this first from Mark Manson, but I don't know who coined it if it wasn't him. And when I first heard it, it was life-changing, but it's one of those things that I feel like I have to like kind of be vigilant about. It's so easy to fall into the trap of should, and talking yourself into things that don't resonate with you for various reasons. The most recent one for me, and thankfully I did remember this rule, was a friend asked me to a concert that they have an extra ticket for on Friday. And I love live music. And it's in a park. And I have been to concerts there. I actually lost my license leaving that park after a concert one time. But I've been to concerts there since. Anyway, I didn't know the band that my friend asked me to see with them. And I just felt like this heaviness in my body when I thought about going, because the concert started at 6. I get off work at 3. It takes me about an hour to get home on the bus, so get home a little after 4, and then let my dog out and play with him and try to get enough like love and exercise in to make me not feel bad about turning right back around and leaving again, which is difficult. I do it very rarely. Like I've done it for a couple art walks where I go home, let the dog out, feed him, play with him a little bit, and then go back out. But it's very rare. I think the last time I did it was December of last year. So there was that feeling of heaviness. And then he sent me a few songs and I didn't hate them. Like, I think sitting in a park and listening to them would actually be very pleasurable. But I just didn't, like, nothing in my body was dancing with joy at the prospect. And so I said, thank you so much for the invite. I don't dislike their music, but I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. And I feel so much better having done that. I think like old me definitely would have gone because I would have felt like the scarcity kind of thing. Like if I say no to an invitation, maybe he won't invite me next time. Maybe I'll miss out on future stuff if I don't go to stuff I don't necessarily really want to go to. Like all kinds of weird, mental gymnastics. But no, I feel so much more relaxed and settled, knowing that I don't have to go to this thing that I don't really want to go to. So there's that. And then I may be going to something else with the same person this weekend. We'll see. But that one sounded much more like, yeah, I can do that. And maybe I will want to get out of the house. Although I had been looking forward to a weekend with no social obligations to try to get some of the stuff checked off my list that requires so much mental and emotional energy that I just like really don't have it in me to do unless I'm extremely rested, which is never. So we'll see. We'll see. I do want to go to the other thing he invited me to, though. It's another air show. And it's one that I used to attend yearly as a kid, and then kind of maybe every other year in my 20s, and then lately I've been doing it less and less, but I do look forward to it if we end up doing that. So then, on a new subject, a new, to me, YouTuber, Teksonteo, I hope that's how you say his name, or the name of his channel. He's Chinese, and he talks about Sun Tzu and the art of war. And he was talking about slow momentum this morning and how his first 2 videos got 2 views, and then his third video got 5 views, and how when we're working on something and when we're learning something, it can look like nothing's happening, like we're making no progress. But there's invisible progress. There's quiet, invisible progress that we can't see and perceive. And it's happening in what we're learning as we continue to practice. It's happening in our comfort and confidence levels with what we're practicing. And eventually it will pay off. And he likened it to like water building up and then eventually being released, like behind a dam, or even say on like, I don't think he used this example, but I was thinking of like a fabric canopy that in like a deluge that starts to fill with water, and pretty soon there's like a huge puddle, and it's like sagging, and then at some point it gets so heavy that it just rips, and this whoosh, all the water comes out. And it looks like something that happened in an instant, but really it took a long time for the water to build up. And then he also gave the example of bamboo, how bamboo spends a long time focusing on the roots before sending any shoots up. And then all of a sudden it can shoot up 6 stories, and I don't remember how long, but a very short amount of time. And the same is true of mushrooms. Mycelium is enormous. I think mycelium might be the largest living organism on the planet. There's one in Oregon that's just thousands and thousands of acres large, but you can't see it. It's invisible until it sends up mushrooms, the fruiting bodies, and they're only around for like a few days at the most. But there's all this quiet, persistent progress underground. And so I believe that is what I'm doing here. Even though I think even my highest viewed video, which I think is still the one that was found with searches for smoking fetish and woman smoking, and it really had nothing to do with the content of the video. I think even that video was under 100 views. I think it's at 95. So if you just look at my stats right now, it looks like I'm getting nowhere at all. I think most of my videos get 5 to 7 views. And thank you so much to the 5 or 7 of you that watch regularly. I know it's the same people, and I appreciate you so very much. Seeing your views there really helps motivate me and keep me going. If it was 0, that would hurt a lot. even making a somewhat of a difference in a few people's lives is really encouraging to me. So, yeah, I believe I'm building momentum. I know, and I've mentioned this before, but I think it's worth repeating. I was so awkward when I first started. Not that I'm not still a little awkward. I still have pauses like I did just then, but when I first started, it was mostly pauses. And I had a really hard time looking at the camera. I still have to remind myself to do it. It's a conscious effort. It's not natural. But I think with practice, it will become more and more natural. It already is. And so even if I'm not building like a subscriber count or a watch hour count, I'm definitely building my skills and my confidence. And yeah, and I really feel like I'm even behaving differently at work. I'm more comfortable asking questions and asking for help than I was when I started. And I mean, part of that is also getting to know my coworkers better. Getting more comfortable with them helps me be more comfortable. But I really do think that this morning practice of talking to the camera is helping significantly in that regard. And then another video from Timothy Ward, and I'll share both of these in the description down below. He was talking about how the world is abundant and humans create scarcity. And I absolutely agree with that. There are enough resources for all of us. If a few of us weren't collecting and hoarding them like dragons from tales of old with their mountains of gold. I made a little rhyme. I love when that happens. Dragons from tales of old sitting on their piles of gold. But he was talking about how, Timothy Ward was talking about how, like, there's so many more types of flowers than there needs to be. Like, humans don't need to exist. The universe doesn't need to be as massive as it is. Like, none of this needs to be here. And the fact that it is here and in such incredible variety, we don't even know. Like, we haven't even discovered all the variety and everything yet. It's just like, the more we discover, like there's more and more and more and more and more. And that is abundance. And that is absolutely true. And I love looking at the world that way. And that is how I am choosing to go forward and to go into my adventure with van life. Old me was super afraid that if I let go of this house, then I would just spend through the money, and then I would be destitute, and I would have wasted my grandfather's kindness and generosity in leaving me this house, and I was just sure it would all go wrong. And you know, it could go wrong. It could go exactly like that. But even if it does, I don't think it will be without merit. I think even if it does go that way, as awful and as difficult and as traumatic as that will be, I am sure that I will also gain something from it. Strength of character, resilience, who knows, friends maybe even. I have no idea. But I think staying here when I am unhappy is not the thing to do. I want to go out and experiment in the big wide world. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to believe that its abundance will provide for me, as long as I am open to receiving it. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for being here. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be wealthy, may you feel at ease, and may you love and accept yourself exactly as you are right in this very moment. Even if you have things that you believe that you can improve, that you right now is valid and worthy of love and acceptance as well. All right, until I see you next time, please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. I realized that I forgot to draw one of our Natalie Goldberg writing down the bones deck cards. Can't have that. So today we are on card number 26. What are you reaching for? Go. 10 minutes. Or make your response as a list. One thing, one attribute, one person after another. Down the line, what are you reaching for? And then on the back, go ahead. Don't be shy. Reach for the moon. For both the possible and what you think is impossible. Be honest and step up. This is how you build a strong spine and understand your trajectory, your desire, where you are going. Sure, in a year you might change directions, but right now, where in your heart are you yearning and aiming? Don't be vague or abstract. I love that. I feel like this is a great card for what I talked about today. So I'm glad that I decided to get back on here and try. All right, with that, I will let you go again, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.